When I was moving to Canada a few years ago, I did a lot of research and came up with a packing list for Canada, which I will share with you today. What to bring, what's better left behind, or what to ship later. Packing to move to Canada is not the same as packing for a vacation, so I'll help you pack smarter and stress less when moving to Canada. Because, believe it or not, Canada has a few nasty surprises you may not think of. Let's go! First, the basics. These are the things you cannot skip, no matter the time of the year you're moving, because if you don't have them, you won't even be let into the country. And that does happen from time to time. Your priority one is to make sure you bring all the essential documents you might need in Canada. You don't want to be scrambling trying to arrange document shipment because you've missed something. And it would be even worse to have those documents lost in transit. I have also put a printable checklist for you, so make sure to use the link below to grab yours once you've done watching this video. Passport with visa or work permit or confirmation of permanent residence or acceptance letter are a no-brainer. They won't let you cross Canadian border without those documents. You will also need to do a customs declaration form, especially if you're bringing alcohol, tobacco or expensive gifts. Another important point is if you're bringing more than 10,000 Canadian dollars in cash, it also must be registered on that declaration form. If you don't declare those items, the Canadian government may consider that an income and expect income tax from you. The Canadian Border Services Agency will also require you to show proof of funds upon arrival at the airport. So I recommend you bring physically printed bank statements for the last 6 months as your proof of funds, and have your proof of employment ready if you're coming on a work visa. If you're a PR or work permit holder, I recommend bringing your previous employment records. It will make your background checks or reference checks easier if your future employer decides to do it. In my experience, whether or not the employer goes through a full international background check really depends on the company. Larger, more established companies are more likely to go through it, and if you're a work permit holder, having your employment records in hand can help you if you decide to proceed with your permanent residency down the road. It is also highly recommended to make sure you have a travel insurance. Some provinces like Quebec, British Columbia and Ontario have a residency requirement with a waiting period of 3 months living in the province for you to qualify for the Canadian public health care. Travel insurance helps you have a peace of mind that if anything happens during these 3 months, you're covered. Now, you don't usually think about these in your day-to-day, but it's important not to forget these, if you're moving to a new country especially. Bring these documents on the screen. You should already have them because they were also required for your immigration process. A simple way to put it is anything that was required for your immigration process is the document you must bring with you to Canada. Next, don't forget your vaccination certificates, medical history and things like prescriptions for medication and eyeglasses. If you have ongoing treatments, bring records and medical imaging. This will help your new doctor get up to speed and provide treatment as relevant as possible. If you drive, bring copies of your driving record and driving license. This will help you get in your Canadian driving license, because redoing the entire driving school will take years and will cost you unnecessary expenses. When moving to a new country, the last thing we want is to start our new life here missing any important document and worrying about having it sent to you via mail, because Canada is not always as modern as you might think. Some institutions do not accept digital copies of documents, and you must have original physical ones. Here is my personal document packing tip. Have everything organized in folders. Translate all documents into English or French if you're moving to a French-speaking province, and have certified or notarized copies of the most important documents, and have both physical and digital copies ready. For all the digital documents, I recommend Cloud Drive, like Google Drive, with folders set up to help you find all documents easily and quickly. Now let's talk about electronics. This is a big one that catches many newcomers off guard, especially those moving from Asia or Europe. Getting this wrong can cost you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in damaged electronics and wasted luggage space. Canada uses Type A and Type B power sockets, which are very different from those in Europe and many parts of Asia. Here's what it looks like. Type A has 2 flat pins and Type B includes an additional grounding pin. Before you move, I highly recommend you buying a travel adapter that works with these types of plugs, and don't leave it until last minute. These adapters are more expensive at the airport or after arrival. This is where most people run into trouble. In Europe, the standard voltage is 220 volts. That's what most electronic devices, hairdryers, laptops and kitchen appliances are built for. In Canada, the voltage is much lower, 120 volts at 60 Hz. If your device is not compatible with this lower voltage, it won't just poorly work, it might overheat, short circuit or completely break. So double check your device's power labels. Look for something like 100 to 240 volts on chargers of electronics. If it says 220 volts only, leave it at home. Devices that have motors or heating elements like hair dryers, microwaves and coffee machines are especially vulnerable. Generally, I would recommend to bring minimum electronics with you to Canada, because it may not work well in Canada and just take up space and weight in your luggage. Limit your luggage to your laptop, cell phone, power bank, perhaps a camera, and check if all are compatible. The rest you can buy here in Canada. Prices here are likely a lot lower than what you're used to in your home country. Let's talk about medications. This one is a big one. I was shocked how few medications are available over the counter in Canada. I was used to buying some antibiotics or advanced painkillers and some other medications without prescription in my home country. When I came here, I've learned that some meds are prescription only and some are not even available at all. Now I frequently resort to asking friends and family to bring me medications from Europe or Russia because they're just not available here in Canada. To mitigate that, stock up on your favorite medications for at least a couple of months and bring your prescriptions just in case. Have it translated into English or French. This will speed up the process of getting local medication you need. Pharmacies here may not carry the exact brand that you're used to, so look into medical components of your medication to find an alternative in Canada. Now, listen to me carefully here. The first principle I used when I moved to Canada back in time is to stick to the minimum clothes and bring a piece of clothing for each occasion, like doing sports or attending a job interview. I moved in winter, so bringing a warm winter shoes and layers for unpredictable cold weather made my life so much easier in the first few months. If you don't have winter clothing in your home country, don't worry about it. It's abundant here and is much better bought here once you arrive. I will talk more on clothing subject in just a minute, but first a few more things. If you're moving with children, bring kids books in your mother tongue. It's a great way to keep your culture alive while they adapt to the new environment. Plus, these books are more expensive and hard to find here in Canada. Pack a keyboard in your language if your alphabet isn't the standard QWERTY. Alternatively, you can buy stickers with letters and symbols for your Canadian keyboard here, or even have it engraved in your native language. This will save you so much frustration unless you are comfortable in blind typing. And don't forget things with emotional value. Pictures of loved ones or little keepsakes that can help you feel at home faster. Moving to a new place can be stressful, so bring things that make you smile and warm your heart. You may not even think it's important now, but when a few months or even years have passed and you're feeling nostalgic about your home or your friendships, you will be happy that you made that decision. Now, here are a few quick notes on clothing based on the time of the year when you're moving to Canada. Canada's seasons are no joke, so let's break it down. If you are arriving in winter, bringing a warm coat, hat, gloves and boots is a must. Even if they're not perfect, they will keep you warm until you can upgrade here. We made a very thorough video explaining what to wear in Canada in winter and added even more tips on how to stay warm. You can check it out here or find a link in the description box below. If you come from a warm country, I highly recommend you watch it. If you're arriving in summer, summers are surprisingly hot in most of Canada. Lightweight clothes and shoes, sun hat, sunscreen and sunglasses are a must. When I experienced my first spring in Toronto, I was shocked when I got sunburned in April. Most of the summer clothing is rather affordable and can be bought once you're here. If you're arriving in spring or fall, these are the layering seasons. Pack sweaters, a light jacket, a raincoat, and don't skip a sturdy umbrella. It rains more than you might think, especially if you are moving to the west coast or east coast like Vancouver or Victoria or St. John's or Halifax. If you're moving in summer or spring or fall, seriously consider bringing just enough clothes before winter starts. Save some luggage space. You can buy winter clothes here or have them mailed to you from your home country. Canadian stores often have great end-of-season sales, so don't stress too much if your wardrobe isn't perfect. You can build it once you're here. Canadians also move a lot within one city or province or across the whole country, so garage sales are a thing here. You can find amazing deals on Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji, so if you're worried about buying everything at once, relax, you'll find what you need without breaking the bank. Just be careful of scammers when shopping secondhand online. Now let's talk about what not to bring. Let's save you from some packing mistakes. Some things are better left behind. For example, bulky furniture or kitchenware. They are simply not worth the space or shipping costs. IKEA and Walmart will have you covered, and second-hand options are everywhere. You can even ask your colleagues or neighbors if they have things they would like to get rid of. Someone's loss is someone's gain. However, if you have things of a great value like an old Swiss clock or Italian luxurious furniture or Austrian exquisitely crafted grand piano, then of course, consider shipping them here, as it would most likely cost more to buy them here, if at all existent. If these are expensive or luxury items, you will have to make sure to include them in your packing list of items. And if you have receipts, it will help you show their value. Don't bring any prohibited items. Canada has strict customs rules. Check Canada's Border Services website to avoid surprises and losing your precious stuff at the border. You cannot bring weapons, drugs, meat, seeds, or even certain medications. You are also limited to how much alcohol and tobacco you can bring. Now, let's talk strategy. Airlines charge a fortune for overweight luggage and additional suitcases, so pack smart. Use space-saving bags. I used vacuum-sealed bags for clothes, and it saved me a ton of space. If you're bringing winter jackets, sweaters, or warm pants, these bags compress the air out and shrink the volume significantly. This means you can fit more into your suitcase without taking up valuable space. Obviously, these bags will not reduce weight of your items, so don't forget about potential overweight. Another pro tip: roll, don't fold. Rolling your clothes not only saves room, but keeps things very organized. It's one of the best packing hacks out there. When you fold clothes, they stack on top of each other, which not only wastes space, but also causes wrinkles. Rolling them tightly helps you save room while also keeping them organized. Plus, you will be able to see all your clothes at a glance when you open your bag. Pack a carry-on with things that are most important, like your ID and travel documents. It can also be things you don't want to check in, and a change of clothes, toiletries, chargers, power banks, and snacks in case your luggage gets delayed, which unfortunately can happen. You can also use a fanny pack for your documents, money, medications, earbuds, and other small items. Last but not least, pack a few entertainment items, such as a book, magazine, or downloaded movies on your phone or tablet. This will keep you occupied while you wait. Moving to Canada doesn't have to be stressful. The main principle I used is prioritize the essentials, plan for the season, and consider buying or shipping other items later. Canada has everything you will need, and it can be even cheaper here than in your home country. I know it might not feel this way if you're from a country with weak currency, but once you start earning Canadian salary, you will notice you can buy things here often at a better price than you would expect. If this video helped you, gently tap the like button below and share it with someone preparing for their big move. Comment below with your packing tips, advice, or any questions. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Safe travels!